Greetings everyone, my name is Shedrel, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Man Maker. In tonight's evening live stream, I'll be covering the level pack Mega Man Shedrel's Rising Remake. About a year or two ago, I covered the original version of Shedrel's Rising, and I thought it was okay or decent, though I was getting a bit bored near the end. So now Shedrel sent me the newest version of the pack, which has remade the levels from the ground up. And in the chat right now is Shedrel themselves. Or Shedrel. It should take about 2 hours. Let's see if we can do it all in one go. So first on the lineup is of course the intro stage, with 58 plays and a score of 23. Alright, I'm gonna switch between the different playable characters for this. Like before, we have a choice of what music to play. Let's do the classic X theme. I didn't realize that Virtua Unlimited project would be released that soon. Like, didn't their Kickstarter just end half a month to a month ago? Regardless, I'll keep an eye on it. As a reminder, I'm going to be covering only levels from this level pack tonight, so I'm not going to really be accepting level IDs. As for Virtua, I'll see what I can do with the game, see if I can get a key for it. If not, well, I'll just wait for the next Steam sale, perhaps. From what I played in the demo, it's very solid, and it didn't even show its full potential off. And to be fair, as I said, it fixes a lot of the issues I had with the original Zero games, at least the first two. As I said though, the main criticism I have was, I wish the camera was zoomed out a bit more, but that's just me. The one true stage of the game, following the highway stage and the first intro stage, that actually had a gimmick it used, which already puts it above a lot of the Zero games. Oh no. Oh no, my weapon pellets, which I regain immediately. Starting out as a simple intro stage, now it's posing a decent challenge too. Purple City at night. How peaceful. Yeah, unified purple color scheme. It's nice. Only thing that could make this better is if every enemy was purple teamed or something. How much are you liking the game, Jaden? You say it kicks ass, but I'd like to hear your more comprehensive thoughts on it. Usually the Mega Man-like games that come out are based off Mega Man Classic. A Mega Man Classic or Mega Man X inspired. We don't really get that many directly Mega Man Zero inspired games. And when I say directly Mega Man Zero inspired, I mean to the point where it's... I mean, playing the demo Mega Man Zero, it's basically Mega Man Zero with a new coat of paint, more polished up levels, and a new move. Like, it's... I know Inti has Azure Striker Gunvolt, but that feels more like a spiritual successor or its own thing. This one straight up almost feels like a direct spiritual successor or 0-5 with different characters. GG. I'm doing fine, YouTube. Thanks for asking. Yeah, we can. Stream is PG-13. Alright, solid intro. I think I liked it better than the original. Alright, here's a selection of 8 Roadmasters. Blaze Man, Cyclone Man, Iceberg Man, Brick Man, Hydra Man, Wire Man, Steel Man, and Soldier Man. In total, we have an intro stage, 8 RM stages, 5 fortresses, and a special level. Choose my destiny. If there's a tiebreaker, I'll roll the dice. And we have a victor. The first one I'm going after is Cyclone Man. 37 plays, score of 18. Decent number of plays, decent score. Let's see how this holds up. Okay, decent selection of special weapons too. Looks like we're gonna get the Tornado first. You know what I'll pick. Not this one. I love this team. 2 routes, eh? What's up this ladder? Hang on. You like it a lot. Won't be better in Gravity Circuit at the moment. You know, comparing this game to Gravity Circuit will be interesting. Gravity Circuit is basically like Mega Man X combined with Mega Man Classic. Like, we have the Mega Man X mobility stuff, a little bit... Okay, we have some of the mobility stuff from Mega Man X. We have a lot of the mobility stuff from Mega Man X and Mega Man Zero, but the level design is straight up classic styled. So let me rephrase it. Gravity Circuit seems to be mainly based off... It's based off of classic X and Zero. Classic level design sensibilities with X and Zero's movement and attack techniques, and melee focus. E-Tank route. Whereas Virtua Unlimited Project, that's basically straight up like 0-5. You haven't fully dived into any of the regular stages yet, but nothing too egregious. That's good. I have a question for you, Jaden. What difficulty level were you playing on? Oh no. Yeep. Oh, that's why, Jaden. The normal mode is actually for people... Normal mode is designed for people who haven't really played a Mega Man game before, or they play platformers but not that many Mega Man games. For your skill level, Jaden, you probably should be playing on hard mode. That's designed for people who play difficult platformers or have played and beat the Zero games. Like, if you've played and beat The Last Fate, hard mode is up your alleyway. When I played the demo several months ago, I played it on hard mode and didn't really have that much difficulty. Like, the only real difficult part was the ending part of the fire stage and the boss fights. And keep in mind, it calls itself hard mode, but in reality, Virtua Unlimited Project's hard mode is basically almost like normal mode of Mega Man. Like, if we're comparing it to the Zero series, it's basically like Zero's normal mode. And there's there's at least one difficulty setting above it. I know in the demo there's one difficulty setting above it, I'll call it very hard, but knowing this sort of game, there's probably a very, very hard, a secret unlockable 5th difficulty setting, which turns up the difficulty even higher. Welcome to the stream, glad you can make it. From what I played and seen in the last Fate, even beating the regular final boss, getting up to that point, is a challenge in its own right. You may die a few times on hard mode, but I think you'll find it a decent challenge. Again, normal mode's for those who haven't really played Mega Man games, especially the Zero games. Because, to be honest, looking back at the Zero games, they're some of the toughest Mega Man 2D platformers out there. Like, in general, I find it to be harder than the classic and X games, barring certain exceptions. Force Rush section, but I'm fine with that. Like, Zero 2 especially. The hardest classic games I can think of are 9 and Base, and maybe 11 on the hardest difficulty. Whereas with the X series, it'd probably be X6. Well, and X5 are the harder ones, but X6 for wrong reasons. But Zero, yeah, hardest. Can you actually can you adjust the game's difficulty in the menu? If that's the case, you may not need to restart from hard. I wouldn't say 7 is that hard, really. But... whoa, come on. Let's see. I'm not gonna really be following the weakness order anyways. I'm just gonna be fighting the bosses Buster only. Yeah, check if you can increase the difficulty in the menu before restarting the game. If you're that early on, give it a shot. I wouldn't say for all the wrong reasons, but I think 11's hard difficulty setting is good, although it probably need double the checkpoints. I argue that 11 should have had double the checkpoints at the harder difficulty settings. 9 is, I already discussed it. And Base, well... yeah, that's... I'm specifically talking about the SNES version, don't play the GBA version, because oh gosh, in addition to all the level design that makes it tougher, you have screen crunch. If you think the game's hard enough on the SNES, it gets worse on GBA. 7 I don't really struggle with, but going from the NES games to the SNES ones, there is a bit of a shift. 8's one of the easiest games, Pixel Boy. Like, that's not what I consider one of the... I would actually consider 8 to be one of the easier Mega Man games, Mega Man Classic games. Like, compared to 7, I'd argue it's easier. Usually when I think of Mega Man and Base, I'm usually referring to the SNES version as a basis, because that's already one of the most difficult Mega Man games. Alright, who should we go after next? I know Lauren voted for Iceberg Man. I want to see what else you want to pick. options. And I'd say it's a good thing. A lot of those games are actually taking the best like Mega Man Zero's combat I like. My issue with the game more has to do with screen crunch and the level design. Like I really like the combo system, the use of moves and whatnot. It's basically taken from other action games. I need to know more about Kana. She's a decent design. I played more because the gameplay just straight up I keep emphasizing this point because it's... I didn't think they'd directly clone Zero's gameplay to such a degree. Like, I thought there'd be some minor differences that would change up, for example, dash slashing and such, but no, it's directly Zero's moveset. Not to the point of plagiarism, but calling the game a Zero clone, if someone called the game a Zero clone, I would accept that. Alright, second RM we're going after is Iceberg Man. 45 plays, score of 19. Oh, you mean Copy X? I'm afraid that the ice physics will not be improved, because that's an engine thing. Yeah, they have to be the second phase. Sure, Aurora Man. Again, if I'm playing a level pack in this engine, they're not going to change the physics. The only way the physics can be changed is if I'm using a mod. Moonscars and Astalon. Two games I eventually want to play too. Astalon's gonna be a good example when we discuss about difficulty curves. Like, I've heard it's a pretty fun game, but its difficulty curve is interesting. With that fight, you have to memorize the timing for that. To answer your question, Power, I posted the edited versions of the video. That's what happened. Once I'm done streaming or let's trying something, I edit and post the videos afterwards to cut a lot of the deaths and other stuff. Whoa! Oh yeah, that reminds me, of Virtue Unlimited, thank goodness they didn't tie getting special abilities to getting S ranks. That was one thing I really criticized in the Zero games, and I'm glad they fixed it in Zero 4, and I'm glad they fixed it here. Oh, it was deleted? Something must have got copyrighted there. Goodbye, mid-boss. Phoenix Magnian. Oh, Phoenix Magnian. We'll have a field day when we eventually get to him in 02. Oh. I get what they were trying to do with that fight, but oh my goodness. That fight really suffers from screen crunch. Like, if the camera was zoomed out by 50%, that fight would immediately become a lot more enjoyable. It'd still be really difficult though, but at least you could see more of the tells. Yeep. Whoa! For the most part, the ice physics here aren't really causing issues. And I like the unified color scheme here. Who's worse? This Blaze, are we talking about the stages or the boss fights? Neat. Chillman's one of those... Well, yeah, Chillman's a fun fight. Too bad his weapon is too situational. I see what you mean. Nine Souls, Gestalt, and Haunty provide different experiences in different genres. Nine Souls is a Souls-like, Gestalt is an 2D action RPG in the vein of the DS Castlevania games, and Haunty is... it's a twin-stick shooter, but it's more like... it's an action-adventure twin-stick shooter. Everything? Blaze Heatnix. Doesn't his stage have the Ouroboros monster? Or am I thinking of a different stage? Yeep. Hang on, I need to check that. Oh yes, it has the Nightmare Snakes, then yeah. Because Blaze Heatnix stage has the repeated Nightmare Snake encounters, easily the worst stage. Like, the worst part of Phoenix Magnian stage is the fight. The worst part of Blaze Heatnix stage is the repeated Nightmare Snake encounters that keep repeating themselves. Yeah, the donut monster. No, I don't mind debating. It's gonna still be a difficult fight, but my main issue is zooming. Yeah, we played games like Nine Souls or Gestalt on the channel, but something like Haunty, not really. In terms of the shooting, yes, we have played that, but in terms of the action-adventure, the atmosphere, the story, we haven't really played anything like that on the channel. Like, the closest thing would probably be Outer Wilds, in terms of the feeling it gave me. And Outer Wilds was also kind of something we don't usually cover on the channel. Oh no. Get me out. Okay. Or refill. I'd rather take those over Blaze Heatnix's Nightmare Snakes, sorry. Well, fire melts ice. Oh, and thank you Shedrel for having Portaman take normal amounts of damage. Victory. You don't need to randomly capitalize words entirely. Yeah, I said this before and it bears repeating. I don't know if probably devs don't hear it, but I feel like with Proto Man with just the Mega Man 4 charge shot and the shield, it doesn't make up for taking double damage in most scenarios. If you took 50% more damage, I'd be more okay with it, but the trade-off isn't worth it. Now, if Proto Man has the Proto Strike, then yeah, taking double damage is fair. Alright, I want to say something. From the first three levels I played in this remake pack, I can already say that this is a step up, at least 1 or 2 steps up from the original. You have improved. Each level stands out from each other and has fun uses of their own mechanics and level objects. Alright, choose who I should go after next. Blaze, Brick, Hydro, Wire, Steel, or Soldier. I don't actually mind the donut encounter. My problem is they repeated it way too much and it just dragged on the stage. Like, if we're gonna have that fight, have it at most be twice. Okay. Very well. Next up, I'm going after what? Okay. Next up, I'm going after Wire Man. 38 plays, score of 19. Formerly known as Shining Man. Let's get electricity. And sure, roll. That is his name, YouTube. I'll take this. I like this scene from Roku-chan really much. I mean, I can go back and grab it. Let's grab it then. Oh, this takes me all the way back. That's nice. Let's see, it says Sparkman. Let's go! We don't usually hear this in full, I just use it for titles. Oh, Ground Scaravish? Yeah, that's a... Oh, neat. No, nothing to the right. what else have you been playing recently, Jaden? Oh my goodness, that could have been bad. Oh yeah, here's my plans for in terms of game coverage. Someday, either on a weekday evening or a Sunday evening stream or Sunday stream, haven't decided yet. I'll be returning to Dead of a Wish. Once Dead of a Wish is done, I'll return to Sanzavora. Ah, I stood too close. When is Sage? In September. Wait, that... Hang on, that's important. You got the date wrong, Pixel Boy. That's not accurate. Like, that's... Sage 2024 is happening between September 6th to September 13th. Alright, let's get through. Make sure to always double check when posting these dates. I'll post the information about this on the Discord server, but we have plenty of time. And if there's anyone interested in joining, or posting their games, that's fair. Like the last few times, I plan on mostly or just only covering indie titles. I'm not going to be covering fan games or ROM hacks. There are plenty of people who are already be covering the Sonic fan games, so I won't be one of them. I just wanted to get that off. I just want to get through so I can get to the platform. This is gonna be a tricky stage. And what makes it more difficult is I don't really have the charge shot. Which could have been really handy here. Maybe. Hurry. Or a shield weapon. God, there were just 1 HP lost. You know, by rushing forward, it made it easier. What's behind this capsule? Not worth it. I was hoping for a tank. How about covering Mario Fan Games Galaxy? Again, I don't really cover fan games from other franchises. So, that's out. Only hands visible. Hands and feet. Neither are game jams, Jaden. Like... One is an entire site that showcases Mario fan games, Mario and Nintendo fan games. The other is an expo. An online expo. Like, none of those are game jams. If you're thinking of game jams, you're thinking of stuff like Let 'em Dare. Or Boss Rush Jam. Free E-Tank. Thank you. Like, let me finish this stage and I'll post a description of that site. Not free for base, though. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is one of those things about, one of those something lost in translation, eh? Let me finish this stage and I'll write down the descriptions. Alright, I found ya. I'm only doing this to speed up the fight. Thanks, Pete. And let's get out of here. G to the G. Solid Stage, I made fun use of its mechanics, but also difficult. What? Aha, I found this. Mario Fan Games Galaxy is a website, database, and community for fan game developers, mainly for the ones related to the Super Mario series. This website also has resources for game creation and also discussion boards. So this is just a website that is for Mario fan game developers. So it's neither an expo nor a jam. As for what is an expo, I'm going to quote the dictionary. An expo is basically an exhibition. If like I've heard to use a formal definition, I can't use that. Wait. Expo. Like the literal definition of expo is a large exhibition. But basically when you do an expo is people go to expo to showcase their stuff. Meanwhile, a game jam is an event where participants try to make a video game from scratch on a specific time frame. To quote Wikipedia, thank you, Wikipedia. A game jam is an event where participants try to make a video game from scratch. Depending on the format, participants might work independently or in teams. They don't overlap with each other. They're something in an expo is where you show stuff off. An expo is an event where you show stuff off, or a venue or place or event where you show stuff off. Whereas the game jam is where participants are trying to make a game under certain restrictions. Usually time, sometimes resource related. Like, I wouldn't call a Steam Next Fest a game jam. And I wouldn't call the Ludum Dare an expo. Alright, I'm going to randomly choose the next RM. If we have electricity... Let's do this. Let's go after Hydra now. Forward up is Hydra Man. 32 plays, score 16. Yes, YouTube. Formerly known as Tsunami Man. What made you think they overlap with each other, Jaden? I'm a bit curious. I'm wondering if it's one of those situations where something was lost in translation. Like, I can understand the confusion because of certain sites. I'm just wondering if something got lost too. Okay, I didn't answer your question, Power Simplified. I should. Okay, you've discussed this in Team's Arcadia server, but you've noticed a lot of modern... Let's talk specifically about Mega Man Classic for this. Modern fan game music sounds kind of the same, almost if you use the same Family Tracker instruments. Why did I choose this music? I like this song. I guess part of the reason why it sounds similar is because of the limitations of the NES soundtrack, or NES sound chip. It's also the case where people are replicating the sound fonts of the retro era, the ones they liked, and what ends up happening is, and what has ended up happening is, a lot of people settled on a certain set of sound fonts. so stuff starts to sound a bit more samey. Contests are another thing that could be tangential. Yeah, some expos will have... See, some things can be both an expo and a game jam. And some areas do blur the lines. I'm not gonna lie on that. But the most famous examples of expos I can think of, at least in the gaming sphere, well, Rippy Tree. I'm gonna say like Steam Next Fest. That's not a game jam. I'm guessing the reason why a lot of the fan game music, especially in the 8-bits realm, sounds the same is because people are choosing the same sound fonts for instruments. It's not just because of laziness, I'd say. It's also because people like those fonts, I guess. Which can be a shame because there are some other interesting... Even in the classic NES games, some companies had more creativity with how the music sounded. Or E3's successor, the Summer Games Fest. Yeah. Spiritual successor. Ow, I'm running to every Steam jet. I just wish there was more 16-bit fan games out there. Excuse me, I just think I make the spikes stand a bit more from the background here. I'm not going for that E. We were talking about Game Expo's YouTube. Comic-Con is focused on the comics. They may talk a little bit about video games, but that's not their focus. Hence why I didn't include that in the discussion. Nice, no damage. Excuse me. Pardon me. And Evo is also Evo is a fighting games expo, yeah. It's also a tournament realm? I don't know. We have the sequel wars, yes, then... I just wish there was more stuff like that out there. GG. Better than the original, more difficult. All these levels are more difficult than the original incarnations, but they better explore the mechanics in fun ways, so it makes up for that. Like, I'll say right now, based on the 5 levels I've played so far, I wholeheartedly say this is an improvement over your previous work. Like, straight up. Every level at the very least is decent. I only have my only real criticism is with the intro stage, mainly with its difficulty. It doesn't really feel like an intro stage in the classic sense. Otherwise, yeah, thumbs up. Ah yeah, Evo is both a gauntlet and a expo. Alright, last 4 arms to pick from. Who should we go? Blaze, Brick, Steel, or Soldier? Speaking of 16 bits, you've heard from Ferbaz's server that a lot of new pixel sprite games use template sheets for their work. Could you elaborate a bit? Like, that's a neat discussion topic, but I want to make sure that we're all on the same page, so could you elaborate a bit, please? Oh, you may be using an older version of Gens. That may be the problem. I used BizHawk when I was streaming that. 3, 2, 1. Fifth up, we're going after Brickman. Turn to play, score of 18. Yeah, I'd love to see Ride Chasers. Well, they'll probably add in the X mod first. I'm not sure if I'll be able to— oops. Please ignore that I picked up the fire weapon. Pretend that it's not there. Yeah, it's fine. I just won't use it. Problem solved. Don't know about the episode color. And then after we get the latest, the Mega Man 6 remake, we're gonna have the X version of 4, then 5, then 6. That's what I'm really interested in. Three major tournaments left. As in, a lot of new pixel sprite games use pre-made templates from stock sites. Is the template use noticeable? Hang on, wait. Go away, Doc Roaches. It's a shame that I can't carry the E-tanks to cross stages. It would incentivize me to actually go for all the tanks. After all, I don't really need them for these regular stages. I'll need them more for the fortress levels. Oh, I can? Oh yeah, I see it now. There is probably a room below that I didn't go through. My bad. Hang on. Whoa. Hold there. Yeah, I realized there was the ladders. Okay, so I have about 3 E-tanks then. Like, my thoughts about pixel sprite games using the templates is that it depends. One of my adages is, work smarter, not harder. Elevator section upwards. Not quite what I was talking— oh no. Not quite what I was talking about in the morning with the last level, but Something along this line. Stay frosty, my friend. Inscription. A lot, but if done well, those template sprites won't stick out. So, basically like a lot of other art tools, if done well, they don't stick out. Again, one of my adages for game design and design in general is work smarter, not harder. If most players don't notice, then it's fine. If most players don't notice, aka it fits with the game, then you succeeded. After all, if those tablets are properly... if they get permission to use those tablets, then yeah, it's fine. When I say permission, I mean, are they FOSS or did they pay for them? Then I'm fine. Let me rephrase that. When I say FOSS, I mean, are they free, part of the public domain? Did they get explicit permission? And or did they pay for them? Like, references, definitely, that's a good thing. Like, having references is definitely... Oops, I ran right into spikes. Having references is definitely a good thing. Whoops. Tablets, it depends. Damage with me. Well, oh, seems like you can skip you can cheese a section by damage boosting. Bye. With the inscription, I'm guessing you're talking about the designs in the cards. But they fit with the game's aesthetic and atmosphere. A lot of smaller indie games use them, but not for everything, which makes sense to me. Owlboy did make their own assets for scratch, like, well, I kind of expected that. It's one of the main standout quote-unquote high-bit pixel art titles. And part of the reason why it took so long to develop. So, my overall thoughts on using tablets for the sprite art is the same as before. If it's used well and fits with the game, I'm fine with it. Well, okay. If they get permission, and it's used well with the game, as in it fits, I'm fine. Work smarter, not harder. More hard work doesn't translate into more quality. It doesn't necessarily translate. Alright, tree left. Blaze, Stealer, Soldier. References... Everyone uses references. Like, Every artist worth their salt uses references somewhere in the process. That's different from templates, I'd say. And that I distinguish that from using templates. Okay then. Sixth up is Blazeman. 51 plays, score 27. Well, we actually get this weapon for real now. Sure. Break, man. Oh, never mind. Hole, man. Gemini Man has been deconfirmed because of how much they could potentially break the levels. So they're very unlikely to get in the game outside of mods. We have a Blazeman in the fan games. I just don't remember which game has them. And Gravity Man is going to be even tougher to implement because that would require reworking a lot of assets to work with upside down gravity. And the devs weren't as forward thinking with setting that up. Oh, shave. I'm not thinking of New Menace. Super Mega Man 3 is one game. I think one of the Magma Sages has a Blazeman. And I think another fan game has it, but I can't recall the exact name. Nice! Why I love using Knife Slasher. Hey, Fireman. Oh, Mo. That could have gone very toasty really fast. I'm not interested in jelly-filled donuts right now. Even though they look delicious. Oh yeah, another Crab's Treasure. That came out a few days ago and is also on the Xbox Game Pass. That is something I'll definitely try LPing later this year. Like, even though it's one of the more difficult Souls-likes in terms of dodging, it's pretty fun. And it actually has a decent amount of platforming. Like, most Souls-like don't really have platforming. Hey, Omega. Not really. I wouldn't say it's the first 3D platformer Souls-like. Like, I think the closest thing would probably be Blue Fire. Maybe? Let me type in the name. I'm pretty sure there's actually a platformer Souls-like out there, another one. I just can't recall the name. Really? Wait, am I thinking of the correct... Am I thinking of the same game? No, this... Huh. No, Stray. I've heard nothing but good things about from my... At least in my circles... Wait, what? Hang on a sec, I need to check this. Something got messed up. No, yeah, this is the game I was thinking of. In my circles, I've heard mostly good things about this. What are the bad things you've heard about Blue Fire? Like, in my circles, I've heard pretty much overall praise on the game. I know the launch was a bit messy, but after that... And it's more of a Zelda, it's more of a 3D Zelda game than a Souls-like, to be fair. Yeah, then they fixed the problem. Like, that game, unfortunately, like many other indie games, and games in general, kind of had not the best launch. Okay, putting aside the launch issues, I've heard mostly good things about it, especially as a 3D Zelda game. Did I say for call? That is a word, I accidentally said it, because that means something I wasn't intending. That means to call in advance, which is not what I meant to say. Yeah, Blue Fire is one of those games I will cover because eventually I do want to check out a few Zelda clones. Most of the Zelda clones out there are of the 2D games. Meanwhile, on the 3D side, there's... I can only think of Blue Fire. Probably another one too. Alright. 7th up, we're going after Soldier Man. Turn 8 play, score of 18. And going back to talking about this game, or level pack, it's at the very least decent, almost good. Welcome to the jungle. Say hello to the skies for me. Bye. Enough cheating. You came back. Sorry, counter music would be too obvious. Plants vs. Zombies is good. I quite like that game. What else can we discuss? I'm not really discussing levels in specificity right now because most of my compliments and critiques could apply to most of these stages. And I don't want to be more of a broken record than I usually am. Easy. I mean, I can completely understand why it got the reception it did. Does it take account launch or not? Because at launch the game had some annoying glitches with the controls. And at launch there was only Noctis mode available. The easier Eterna mode wasn't present at launch, which it made the game less appealing for people who aren't already precision platformer fans. And looking back at it, the more I think about the game, the more it feels like a precision platformer first and a Metroidvania second. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because as a precision platformer, there are a lot of fun setups. But if you're going into this wanting to play a Metroidvania, like, again, the way all those challenges are set up, it feels more like video gamey than naturalistic environments in a lot of cases. That's what I mean when I say precision platformer first and Metroidvania second, part of it. Which again isn't a bad thing, but when you look at the game's tags, you think, oh, this is going to be a Souls-like Metroidvania with brutal precision platforming. It's more of a brutal precision platformer with Souls-like with somewhat Souls-like elements and Metroidvania stuff. And the combat is pretty stiff, not gonna lie. Like, comparing the combat system to 9 Years of Shadows, in 9 Years combat feels smooth. In Eterna Noctis, it's pretty stiff. Give me an E. It's kind of both, it's a combination of questionable design decisions on Eterna's part, a lacking easier difficulty setting at the start, focusing on a much smaller niche audience, and a bit of, I don't know if I should call it bad advertising, but players expecting one game but getting another, or many players expecting one game based off the genre tags but getting another. Again, I want to emphasize this point. Going into this, speaking from my own personal experience, I thought Eterna was going to be a brutal Souls-like Metroidvania with precision platforming. In reality, I got more of an experience where it was a brutal precision platformer with a brutal precision platformer that was a Metroidvania and somewhat of a Souls-like. I thought the combat would become smoother with more upgrades, but not really. And yeah, also the skill trees were not balanced in the slightest until a major patch fixed it. Like, unless you took the melee or ranged routes, you were kind of, you're just making the game harder for yourself until they had the major rebalancing patch. Like, the middle ultimate ability or middle ultimate skill wasn't really worth it. Yeah, thank you, Beat, for saving us. Also, performance. Yeesh. I'll have to go back to Noctis for some of the stuff I missed. The King, or the Prince, I mean. And I don't know if I'll be checking the DLC because, oh gosh, the DLC bosses apparently are even harder than the bonus bosses. And there's no way I'm gonna do boss rush. No siree. I may be a masochist in a few regards in terms of some of the games I play, but I'm not that much of it. I'm sorry. Hey, Lepadio. Alright, the last of the 8 RMs is Steelman. 46th place, score 21. I'll be greatly looking forward to some of them, that's for sure. And just to show it off, here's the E&M tank rooms. I guess I didn't actually play as Mega Man. Needleman from 2 Game Boy. Welp. Brilliant start, me. In the year 21XX, I begin my playthrough of Sama Maiterna on Mars. I want to get to that game eventually, but again, it's already gotten a lot of good attention. There are other games which need attention more than that. And I already have 2 very solid picks for my favorite game of the year anyways. Well, I already have 1 very solid pick for best game I covered on the channel this year. 2 very solid picks, I mean. Well, 1 definitely, 1 probably. Hey, Metal. Oh, I should have been playing as Protoman for this. Steel pipes. I know all stages can't be winners, and this is the one that least appeals to me. Not a bad stage, it's just the gimmick combination doesn't... Whoa! It's just that, the X platforms... Not the X platforms. Whatever those platforms were in the previous section, they don't really appeal to me as much. Oh, not you. Goodbye. Glad to be having this conversation with you, Jaden. It's nice to be talking with people with different perspectives. I apologize if I sound a bit harsh and sometimes. I don't really mean it. Like many years ago when I was starting up this channel, or even just a few years into the channel, I wasn't that quite in tune to the fan game and indie game spheres. I was mostly just focusing on random flash games and the very small core of Mega Man fan games I found interesting. But I slowly branched out into the greater fan game sphere of Mega Man and adjacent stuff, a little bit into looking into Mario and Sonic, Castlevania stuff, as well as the indie games in general. And part of that is thanks to you viewers. Thank you very much. Alright, all 8 RMs have been defeated. What's left are the Fortress stages. So I'll be right back in a moment and start cutting them down. And I'm back. To re-emphasize my point, all the levels so far, maybe with even Steelman, even though I didn't quite like as much, are better than the original incarnations. Maybe Steelman is about as good as the original, but a Steel and Soldier, but at least with Cyclone, Iceberg, Fire, Hydro, Brick, and Blaze, they're better. So good job already. Are you talking about the watch company or the amendment? It's alright, Jaden. I actually had the same... I actually had the same thing when talking about my favorite Sonic games. I was also kind of stubborn with not addressing their shortcomings. Oh sure, I addressed the major ones, but not all of them. It's over time I gained a better perspective and realized, oh, it's not perfect. It has many flaws. And I learned to admit that a lot of things I like about the game and a lot of things I don't like about the game, they're also tinged by my personal opinions and subjective stuff. Like, nothing's perfect. Like, despite all the things I criticized throughout the experience of Eternal Noctis, especially in the second half of last quarter, I still overall enjoyed the experience. Like, if I didn't like the games that much, I would have quit early. I'm not afraid to cancel LPs if I lose interest in them, they become too boring, they become too difficult, or they become too frustrating. There are thousands upon thousands of games that I'll definitely find enjoyable, and I'd rather cover those rather than the stuff I'll just find extremely frustrating. There are other channels for that, and hey, those games may not necessarily be bad designed. It's just that I'm not interested in them, or I'm not skilled enough, or any other variety of factors. So keep in mind, even when I air a lot of the frustrations I do during these live streams, that doesn't necessarily mean that I hate the game, or even think the game is bad. Like, I also, for the sake of streaming, I have to over-exaggerate a bit how I feel when going through the stages. That's why I put the summaries at the end, because that's when I have a more level head. You shouldn't be afraid of failure. The person who never fails never learns. Anyways, this philosophical diatribe aside, let's actually go through the Fortress levels, starting with Fortress Stage 1. 24 plays, score of 11. You can only improve yourselves if you accept defeat, accept failure. How else do you learn from your mistakes? The first step is to admit them. That's a lot of musical choices. Look at all of them. Wait, okay, I see. Hang on, wait. Let me fix this. Indeed. See, one such example of game that I feel that was becoming too difficult for me, but I don't think is bad, it was Cook Serve Delicious 3. The reason why I cancelled that LP was simply because the game was becoming too difficult for me to consistently pull off. But it basically went outside my skill level pretty fast. So unless I was going for just silver ranks or silver medals, I wouldn't be able to beat it. That being said, I may check out its prequels and sequels. Like, that's one of the situations where, with Cook Serve Delicious, the game simply became too hard for me. But that was actually purely my sake, not bad design. Yeah, can we please move on? Yeah. Alright, and to respond to Power Simplified, sorry for keeping you waiting there. Yeah, I can't blame her for that because, oh my goodness, I've seen some of the videos of later stages. They get very involved very fast. So, yeah. I don't blame anyone who decides to activate the easier mode for that game. It's one of those games that becomes basically a soul... I know there are jokes of the Souls... I know there are a lot of jokes of calling a game, this is the latest Souls-like of X. If there's gonna be a Souls-likes of typing or management games, Cook Serve Delicious would probably be one of those. At least we never got to the point where you had to deal with max wieners. Oh gosh. Oh my goodness, no wonder. That could cause some burnout if you weren't how much involved. Yeah, the Dark Souls cooking management game. She probably didn't reach the Max Wiener's truck. If she did, you know exactly what I'm referring to. Like, Max Wieners isn't so bad if you're just going for bronze or silver, and you're playing on the easier mode. But if you're going for gold, oh my gosh, it could be a run killer. Okay, basically it acts some... Yeah, basically the way the Max Wiener's truck is, it destroys all the food you have currently cooking. And stashed away, if I recall correctly. Like, Max Wieners is the top competitor in Cook Serve Delicious 3. So yeah, they're basically their biggest rival. And their special attack when they attack you is very devastating. And yeah, deliberately sus. You know how in Cook Serve Delicious 3, you can have several meals cooking and prepared in ahead of time? Right, Jaden? Max Wiener's special attack is they can destroy that. Like, it can reset your progress before the next trip. And will force you to do a mad dash to just recook everything. So, yeah, could be a run killer. The game does warn you about that when it comes up, before you start the day, but still. The game actually warns you in advance that you'll have to face Max Wieners in that day, but that is absolutely devastating. It's a good thing she didn't encounter that, because that could be a rage quit moment. Yes, the super hand powers. Oh yeah, sorry, Power Simplified, let me get to that. There are currently the big four of Mega Man fan games. Mega Man Unlimited, Mega Man Rock Force, Mega Man Super Fighting Robot, and Mega Man Rock and Roll. Yeah, that sounds about right. And right now, there's a battle for the 5th. What are the top contenders for the 5th right now? Like, the 2 contenders I can think of right now would be Sequel Wars and Shattered Diamond. Is Four Hounds also in the contending... Is Four Hounds also in the contending spots? One of the contenders? Like, of the top of number 5, I would think it'd be Shattered Diamond, Sequel Wars, and maybe Four Hounds. But if we're going for wholly original stuff, it has to be either Shattered Diamond or Four Hounds. If you were to ask me, number 5 would be Shattered Diamond. Alright, Borders boss time. Okay, that was easy. You mean Revel Remix? Revel Remix, I don't know. Oh, yeah. Revel Remix and Quint's Revenge 2 could count. Yeah. Like, of all the games I can think of that could be in the running, that would be Shattered Diamond, Revel Remix, Quint's Revenge 2, Y+1, oh yeah, Lars Leyron's Recharged, Double Buster, Beyond, and I think one other title... I would count Quint's Revenge 2, but it's a long shot. And currently Ace is under the weather, so development has been put on the back burner. Alright, on to Fortress Stage 2. 23 plays, score of 8. Dragon Man, I wouldn't count in the running. It's not quite polished enough. My apologies to Baby Jeff if you're watching, but compared to the other contenders, it doesn't quite stand out enough. But it's exciting we have so many contenders vying for number 5. Oh, you mean Mega Man clones? Or Mega Man inspired games? Or Mega Man styled games? Exactly where we last left off. Well, that's good. That's partly why there's a sub-rule. I just find complaining about games other people like or I just find complaining about games people like or dislike. Let me rephrase that. I just find that complaining about people not being interested in the games that you like to be kind of immature. There are so many people on Discord nowadays that you can find you can pretty easily find a server with people who have similar tastes as you do, or similar games or whatnot. And I'm glad you were able to find that with Fabaz's server. Even I wish there was more discussions and interest in indie games on my server, but I'm afraid we haven't reached that point yet. Come on, you can make it roll! Yes! Wait, standing on it just accelerates it too? I thought they fixed the crash issues. Guess not. I wouldn't say it has bad optimization, but it has questionable stability. I know what I just said is basically, hey, it works on my PC. But I will say that, at least from my end, they quite improved on the crash issues and performance. Again, if you want to discuss indie games or the indie game industry in more detail with like-minded folks, sadly my server isn't really the place for it right now. There's only like... the number of people really interested in that I can count on one hand. Oh gosh! Those would be me, you, Pixel Boys, for certain games, and maybe a few other people depending on what game it is. I mean, I always look forward to these discussions we have in the evening, especially about the wider indie game industry. They're neat. And hey, I am part of Fabraza's server after all. Sometimes I do watch them. Are you in non-Mega Man Classic fan game servers as well? Just curious. Like, I know I'm part of the several Mega Man fan game servers. I'm also in the Sonic Fan Games HQ server. Another one of these rooms. Draining one special weapon energy for another. And this is the Y2 or Y3 team from Rock and Roll. Ah, but otherwise no. Oh. Thanks, Disney. About the copyright periods. Yeah, the copyright periods nowadays are just way too excessive. But I've ranted about that enough on previous streams, I won't repeat it now. At least not tonight. I mean, Disney is one of the main villains in this, but Sony is no hero either. Like, Disney's the main one who's been pushing the copyright the furthest. But we'll save the discussion for another time. Oh no, I need to switch to a different weapon for this. Dive missile. Trying to melee enemies like this is ill-advised. Very ill-advised. Something I should have pointed out earlier, and I'll do it now, is that the checkpoint density in this pack is pretty good. And the levels are sufficiently long, if a bit too long and maybe sometimes. Me! Well, if you say so. I guess that worked. Are we nearing the boss fight now? I sure hope so. Yes! Crystal Man with his Shedrel crystal dropper. Eep! Slipped off the side. Ah. It's not so much the number of members in a server which affects whether I'll join a server or not. It depends on the amount of activity. If a server has 200 members and they're all active, that'll feel a lot more overwhelming than a server which has 2,000 people and only has really 100 active members. The hitbox extends a bit further to the sides, so it caught me. Again, I know some of the more experienced players will say otherwise, but I highly recommend playing the game. If you're not as skilled at if you're not really that experienced with precision platformers, please play the game on Eterna mode. I know it kind of diminishes the experience of the game, but again, I'd only recommend playing the game on Optus mode if you already played and beat a few other precision platformers. Okay, that's 2. To Fortress 3. 26th place, score 4. The scores are going smaller. Is this gonna suffer from the YA tree curse? At least I get my projectile weapon back. You get a lot of choices for music in these Fortress levels. Welcome to the furnace, or power plant. Water. I guess the stage's main gimmick is fire and magnets so far. Thanks for the boost. I'm just running. Sure, why not? Probably not I don't think any of the members from Hololive are gonna play at Eterna, but stranger things have happened. Maybe we'll get one of the people from VNU to try it out. That's what that's what you should be hoping for. Oh hey, this is kind of like one of my sections from Conveyor Mayhem. But at this time you're stuck to the wall itself. I activated the easy button. I did a tap jump. Yep. I left my guard. I let my guard down for too long. And this is basically like my section from Conveyor Mayhem, at least with the first two upper parts. Instead of using a ladder though, we're using a magnetic ceiling. And it's less tricky. Mega Man X is popular enough that I'm unsurprised that one of the more popular VTuber gals checked it out. Yep, I am. I went by a different username for Sprites.inc. Alright, let's freeze this again, shall we? No more tap jumps for me. Don't you love the easy button? Pick a pat. I'm gonna pick this one. Actually I can't take this one. Toron was my username for Magma 1 and 2. As that was my Sprite.inc username. Aries also played Battle Network. Yeah, helper enough. Do I really need the tank? Nah. Don't worry, most people forget about the existence of Magma 1 anyways. Nice! I forgot that there's a delay. You know, wait, if there's a checkpoint here, I can just grab it like this. Don't worry, a lot of people forget about Magma 1's existence as well. It really felt like... So this falls first, then they get magnetized. It really just felt like the beta build for what would truly become the first... for what it truly did. Well, I guess I'm not going up there. Instead I get this free M-Tank. Thanks. Sure. That's suspiciously generous. This pack in general has been kind of a bit more on the generous side in terms of pickups, especially tanks. I wouldn't be this generous with how I'd place the tanks though. As I said before, and because it's a level pack, I'll say it again. E-tanks should be a bit of a challenge to get. They should be off the beaten path, or require use of a special weapon to acquire. Is it okay? I'll say yes. It's alright to have a Turbo Man style music in a Mega Man stage. If you were to ask me, then yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, Magma 1 Remix fixed a lot of issues. The level design is still the same as it was in 1, but at least the engine doesn't feel like it's held together with duct tape and love. Also, the Wily Tree stage has been improved so much. It's now my favorite stage of that game. Oh, it's you. Hang on. Oh, that's perfect timing. Maybe not perfect. But 2 was such an upgrade from 1, it's pretty funny comparing the 2. It like, 2 just feels like it was made by, it almost feels like it was made by a different set of developers. Like the increase in quality and polish is incredibly apparent. It's like going from a cheap budget fan game to something that feels proficient. Hey, Magnet. Oh no. I think I see where this is going. Can't reach me. Well, I guess electricity? No? It's Metal Blade. GG. I can see why. Usually I like to answer questions with, is it okay to use X in this stage? With the response, can you think of a reason why it is not okay to use that? That's the question I ask when I build my own levels. Is it not okay to use this, and what are the reasons for that? If I find that there aren't that many reasons why it's not okay, then that's one green light. I don't get why this got such a negative reception here. I mean, it's positive, but more negative than before. Like, I thought this was less frustrating than 2. Anyways, on to Photo Stage 4. 33 plays, score of 11. Is this going to be the rematch stage? If this is following tradition, then this fortress is bringing back stuff we've seen in the previous stages, and I suppose it has, while introducing some new stuff along the way, like dropping the blocks from the magnetized ceiling. That is something we haven't seen in the base 9 stages. This fits. Missile? Or this. Trouble boost? Yes! Good night, Jaden. This is more fun anyways. To the mid-boss. Or is this the fabled rematch room? I would like to see W tanks added to this game. Like something to restore your weapon energy at a moment's notice that isn't an M tank. Because an M tank restores everything. I want something that just restores one thing. This is the rematch room then. Thank you for the full restores of everything. Huh? Are we pulling a Mega Man? Is this Doc Wire? I'm not sorry. Not Doc Wire. Is this Wire Man? Are we pulling a Mega Man Unlimited? We are pulling a Mega Man Unlimited. 4 screens that redux the level that we saw before we fight the boss. Well... Oh! You're not weak to the Metal Blade. That's different. You still take double damage from the Buster. Yamato? What? Oh no, that was the mid-boss, sorry. So, okay, this is different. Not only do we fight the boss... So, every rematch is preceded by 4 screens, which is a mini redux of the stage, of the original RM stage. And not only do we fight the boss, but we also fight the mid-boss of the stage. Usually in these rematch stages, we just fight the boss itself. Only sometimes do we actually have stage reduxes. This is... Iceberg Man. Yeah, definitely Iceberg. Oh my gosh. I'll need to eventually play Day in the Limelight. That's why these were taking double damage. Fire? Yeah, it's fire. Hey Rodjolt! Nice to see you this evening. I'm guessing the mid-boss and boss share the same weakness. Also, thank you very much for using the weapon setter this way. Many other levels would just put a weapon respawner to spawn capsules, but instead you just place a block here which acts like an automatic Yashishi, so we don't have to waste time. This is Hydro. Thank you for being that forward-thinking in terms of convenience. This already puts you above the pack. This already puts you ahead of the pack of many other level packs. I'm guessing electricity. Well, yeah, probably electricity as this pops his bubbles. No? Metal? It's brick. Okay. The devs taught about the player's convenience, and it's worked. Thank you, Shedrel. This is Soldier Man. I think this is actually my favorite of the Forder stages so far. Up there with Tree. If I were to rate this pack so far, it'd be a solid almost good. It's not quite as good as, for example, Daibuman's old level pack, or Mega Man Fusion, or official meme guys slash whatever they're called now, level pack, but it's a very solid one. You straight up improved over your original, as I keep pointing out. You're weak to light? Not the boss, so I think it'd logically be weak to it, but we don't have custom RMs. Oh no. Yeah, for fighting Napalm Man, I wouldn't use the Electroshocker. This is... Is this Wire Man? Did I get one of the arms mixed up earlier? Or is this Steel Man? Yeah, this is Wire Man. I got it mixed up. Keep going before they start spawning. Hurry! I'm glad I picked base for this stage. Okay, what can ground it? I already tried this. If it's not this, the water doesn't short it out. Maybe I can cut through it? Yeah, we're cutting. And against Sheepman, this makes perfect sense. Like, this is the perfect weakness for Sheep. This is one of the perfect weaknesses for Sheepman. You are Doc Brick? Not Doc Brick, Brickman. Well, if I have the treble boost, why not? I guess explosives would work? Yeah. Whenever I see a rock-based RM, it's almost all, at least half the time, they're weak to explosives. Two left to go. This is Blaze. I suppose they're weak to ice, if they follow the pattern. Yeah, pretty much. Or it's water. Yeah, it's water then. Whenever there's a fire-based RM, it's either water or ice. One left to go. And this is... Cyclone Man. Funny how the first stage I did in this pack, the first Rowan Master stage I did in this pack, is now the last one in the repeats. Or reduxes. Oh no! That could have ended in tragedy. What haven't I tried yet? That's a good question. Ice. It freezes your engines, doesn't it? It ends the way it started. I already figured out electric is best against explosives. And that's all 8 of them. Now let's get out of here. Shop to the left. Okay, I can switch between the characters, but I won't. And I already have an M-Tank, so... let's go full stock. It's time to take down Dr. Shedrel. Of course, it's gonna be Burner Man and Throne. I have to use weapons here. Oh no. Let's use everything against them. Go right through the flames, thank you. That's phase 1 down. Brief intermission sequence. Get a full refill of absolutely everything. Thank you again. Ah, the Wily machine. I wish I had roll or proto for this, but it balances out because base had easier time against the stages, or the mini levels, and now those two will have the easier time against the bosses. Well, can I use the Buster? I can. Aim for the nose. And Dr. in reality was Dr. Wily. Alright, one last fortress stage to finish it off. And of course there's a special level, I'll see. Fortress stage 5, 13th place, score 3. Let's take Dr. Shedrel or Dr. Wily to justice. Delicious cheese. Almost good. See, I don't like to put the direct numerical scores, but if you're gonna put a direct numerical score, almost good would roughly correspond to 7 out of 10. Decent would correspond to 6 out of 10. And I call this pack at least almost good. There are several things I want to fix. Some of the stages are outright good, some of them are just decent. I feel like the pack kind of falters with a few of the fortress sections, but if you're just counting the ARM stages, like the first 6 I went through, it's almost good to good. Not the best level pack I've played in Maker, but okay. Fast elevator. Not the best level pack I've played, I've seen better, but a very solid contender. It's the best one I played this year, for sure. Ascending to space. Okay, level editor, or text editing. That was goofy, in all the good ways. Okay. Alright, yeah, pick up everything. I had 70 tanks left going into that, as well as an M-tank. I don't think I need all of those, but better to be safe than sorry. So we're gonna finish the adventure with Mega Man, of course. Okay. What's happening here? A final gauntlet. Poor kitty. They stood no chance. Oh, the pickup killed me. It ate my input. This stage is 3 stages in one. Hopefully each stage isn't as long as the previous ones. I think this will be the last level I'll cover tonight. I'll cover the special stage in one of the regular streams. Like, this has gone longer than what I expected. Like, I've been streaming for about 2.5 hours by this point. Spaceship in a lair on another planet. Of course, Wily would have an entirely different fortress built on a different planet as a backup. He's already had backup fortresses on Earth. I can't wait for a future game where he builds, say, another fortress on Mars or the Moon. Like, if he's already built several bases on the Earth, underwater, in a cave system, in space, the next step from there would probably be on another planet, or the Moon, or an asteroid. Or if you want to take it even further from there, in an alternate dimension, in a pocket dimension or something. Double the buttons. What's behind this door? Sure, I'll happily take this. Nah, that's his totally legal business venture. His actual fortress will be McBurger King. Or Burger Wily. Take your pick. Save. Probably his real fortress would be called Wily King. Or Wily Burger. Okay, first leg of this fortress is done. I hope. Who are we fighting here? The Cossack Catcher. In this arena, that could be a problem. Is weakness the dive Oh no. It's not the dive missile. What is it then? I mean, this works. Ah, I was mashing the start button there, it didn't take. That's one thing you have to worry about in Maker. Pressing the start button doesn't instantly work. There's a few frames where you have to wait. They didn't send any NSF replacements. I just supplied my own. Like, Shedrel didn't post any NSF replacements. All the songs you're hearing here were chosen by me. It's from the same pack from the morning. Two old men arguing. Let's do the roll. Let's do this with roll. Okay, back here. Now it's the first leg, on the second leg. CWS. So that was Kozak, next up is Wily, for real this time. I was thinking, I said no. The only thing I miss in this pack is a shield-based weapon. I would honestly prefer a shield-based weapon over the electroshock. The electroshock just makes me too vulnerable, and I'd rather use other weapons over it. I made the right decision. I honestly thought I was gonna get hit there. You're right, I can't really think of an electric shield-based weapon. We've had a makeshift fire shield-based weapon, a water shield-based weapon, an earth/leaf-based shield weapon, but no electricity. We actually had two earth-based weapons. One lays the leaf shield, the other is a jewel satellite. The dive missile was made for sections like this. I guess I didn't grab on correctly. It ignores enemies' defenses, but the problem is it forces you to stand still. Let me show you. Well, it's kind of stiff there. You said I can block enemy bullets. Let's see that. You're right. Alright, let's try this section again, shall we? That previous gaff was all on me, really. Not the game. If I knew this pack would take this long, I would have split into two, really. And Beat's a bit too risky to use here. If I hit the side of a platform, he's gonna drop me. Let me through. Alright, we made it to the boss fight. Let's see who's up next. What Wily Machine is he gonna bring out? The Stompy one. And now the capsule. Begging for mercy yet again. So let's finish the adventure with Proto Man. I think it's gonna be Proto Man. I'll have to say the special level for a morning stream in the future, Shedrel. Sorry. Anyways, it's time to put a stop to Dr. Shedrel's plans. We did have the zap barrier, yes, and that's the closest thing we'll have to it. What a colorful combination of red plus blue. And crystal spikes on the walls. I know. I'm just being overly cautious. Yeah. I was just checking something. Are we coming close to the end right now? I'm enjoying this pack, but it's longer than I thought. An M-Tank, that's a good sign. Full refills for all! Yeah, it seems to be. The last of the Pukapali guards are trying to slow us down. I don't know about you, but I kind of feel like the stage is a bit overstaying its welcome. Like, if we're gonna have a stage like this, maybe break it up into two. This almost feels like its own mini castle. Ah, I was right there, but I slipped off the platform. I don't like drops like this, where this happens. It almost feels like an encore stage. Like, you don't need to delete the stage, but split into two or something. Especially when it almost is the longest stage. And going into, after completing Fortress Level 4, I thought like this would be the final stretch, and it is, but longer. Okay, we're here now. Freeze. Freeze. Gory's down. This has to be it. Runner Man, aka Dr. Shedrel's back. We can't restore stuff either. This room is full of complete chaos. Not gonna lie. But no matter, I have 9 spare E-tanks and 8 M-tanks and 1 M-tank for spare. We're gonna win this fight. Aha, countered. Alrighty, we've defeated Dr. Shedrel and their chaotic arena for real. And as such, this concludes the level pack. There is a special level, but I'm going to cover that in the morning stream because I've almost gone for 3 hours and I'm a bit too tired to continue on to Druid Man. Alrighty then. My overall thoughts are that this is a straight up improvement over the original in pretty much every category. From the graphics, tile sets, music, and most importantly, the level design. Now all the levels, especially the ARM, specifically referring to the ARM stages, they stand out for each other, and they better introduce, elaborate, and end the exploration of their mechanics. Even the stages I didn't really like as much, like Soldier and Steelman, they also followed this trend. It's just that I didn't quite like the gimmick combos as much. My favorite stages arms-wise would probably be like Iceberg or Wire or Hydro or Blaze. But even then, they don't... For those 6 levels I mentioned that aren't Soldier or Steel, they're all roughly around the same level in terms of quality and difficulty. Like, most stages are solid starter picks. It's not like there's one stage which clearly stands above the rest for being a good starter. There are multiple good starters. And there's no real stage which I find to be like, don't go to this first, or save this for last. There are stages which I would save for a bit later, but none I'd say you have to do, you should probably do this last. Kinda drops the ball with the Fortress levels, but they're still fun. I just didn't quite have as much fun with the Fortress as we did with the regular ARM levels. Still though, props for how you set up Fortress level 4 with the mini-stage reduxes falling up to the mid-boss and full boss. I do criticize the stage 5 for being a bit too long. Like, it could have been half as long and it would still have the same... It would still maintain the same feeling, or same build-up. That, or split it up into 2 stages. Well, if you want to keep the reference to the Three Eyes Boy, or Three Eyes story game, cut the level size in half, but keep the 3 sections. So, if I were to rate this level pack as a whole, I'd rate it as being at the very least an almost good one. There are better ones we have seen on this channel, but so far, this is the best level pack I've played this year in Mega Man Maker. And I recommend it to people who are already have an average to somewhat a skill level of experience with this game. An average skill Mega Man Maker player could comfortably get through this experience without too much trouble. There will be some trouble spot where they may die a bit, but there are special weapons to mitigate that. Although, I kinda wish instead of having the electric spark or electric shock, we had a proper shield-based weapon. And if you're somewhat skilled, like I am, this will be sufficiently difficult. If anything, I kind of expected this to be a bit harder than going in at the end game, but it will still be challenging. Harder than the original. So in short, thank you very much for sending this updated level pack to me, Shedrel. Really appreciate it. In any case, I'll see you all tomorrow morning for Team Fortress 2 multiplayer. Thank you very much for watching, and have a nice day.